Hi, I'm so glad you're here. I'm Erin, and today I'll be guiding you through a 10-minute sequence for a part of the body where most people carry tension, the neck and shoulders, as well as some stretches for the upper body. Let's get started. You can find yourself in a nice upright seated position. If you have a pillow or a blanket nearby and you'd like to place it under the hips just to feel a little bit more comfortable sitting where you are, then feel free. We'll start by sitting up tall and leaning the head over to the right side. So we're lengthening along the left side of the neck. It's likely you'll feel a gentle stretch left side of the neck and perhaps even the top of the left shoulder. You might choose to let your eyes close or find a steady gazing point somewhere out in front of you. You can explore a little bit of movement by allowing the chin to tuck towards the chest. This generally brings the stretch a little further back into the neck. And you might even explore lifting the chin a few inches. So you can fine-tune and play with a little bit of movement to lift and lower the chin. Or maybe you find a steady place where your neck needs a little bit of extra love and attention. You pause and breathe there for a moment. I like to offer options and variations in practice. So really you can fine-tune to choose your own adventure. You can make this truly your yoga practice, even if we're practicing together. On the next breath, you can bring the head back up through center. And then we'll lean the head on over to the left side to stretch the right side of the neck. At first, you might just find a really gentle stretch. We'll allow time to do the work for us. And just like before, you might play with lowering the chin a few inches, to lift the chin a few inches. And up to you if you'd like to explore a little bit of gentle movement, or if you pause and feel into one area of the right side of the neck. Already you might notice the subtle shift in the quality of your breath. It just feels good to stretch the neck. On your next breath, we'll come back to neutral. Take just a moment to pause and feel, notice sensations in the neck. Let's take a deep breath together. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, sigh out the mouth. Let's take two more. Breath in and out. In and out. You can turn to look towards the right. So a slightly different stretch, finding more of a twist in the neck. Again, you can look a little bit up or down. If you'd like a little bit more stretch on the left side of the neck, you can bring the left hand behind your back and continue that twist of the head over to the right. On an inhale, you can release the hand. If it's behind your back, we'll come back to neutral, and then turn to look to the left. Same idea here. We're going to explore a little bit of movement or stillness, whatever feels most interesting and right to you in this moment. If you'd like a little more, you can bring the right hand behind the low back. These first few stretches can be especially helpful. Next breath or so, we'll come back to neutral. If you sit at a desk a lot, and you can just pause and do these stretches even for 2 minutes in the middle of the day. I'm going to scoot back onto my mat over the next set of stretches. You're welcome to place the feet out in front of you, or if you would prefer, you can sit cross-legged and plant the hands back behind you. Press into the heels to lift the hips and scoot the hips closer to the heels. Already you might feel a nice broad stretch along the front of the shoulders and the chest. And if you'd like a little bit more, you can inhale to lift the chest and look up. If this brings any pain or pressure into the elbows, you're welcome to bend the elbows a little bit or try turning the fingers out to the sides. We'll stay here for about 2 minutes. So make sure it's just a gentle enough stretch that you could sustain it for a couple of minutes. Again, you might explore movement of the head and neck to lean the head over to one shoulder at a time, or even to twist and look to either side. When we're holding a stretch for a little bit longer in the upper body, for example, for about a minute, we're really looking to target beyond the muscular tissues. So the muscles adapt pretty quickly to stretching, and that's their job, is to contract to move us around. But we can stretch a little bit deeper and place a relative emphasis on the fascial network, so ligaments and tendons, and this creates more of a lasting change in our flexibility. It also encourages a little bit more hydration in those tissues for just a feeling of overall ease in our movement. Just about another 20 seconds to go. Explore any movement or even balance out your movement from side to side. And we'll slowly walk the hands forward back to a seated position. I'll turn towards you. Our next couple of stretches will be for the wrists. It can be really great if you're typing all the time, and even though we move our hands and arms around a lot, it's kind of rare that we really get a deeper stretch for them. So to start, we'll plant the backs of the hands down on the mat in front of you. And the backs of the hands don't fully have to touch. For some people, they feel more comfortable in more of a hands and knees shape or position here. But we're expecting to feel a little bit of traction right along the back of the wrist. And we'll stay here for just about a minute. You can fine-tune the stretch by turning your fingertips in towards one another. Usually this is a little bit less intense, or turning the fingertips away from one another, usually a slightly more intense variation. But again, most intense isn't always the best option for your stretch. We just want something that feels appropriate to hold for about another 30 seconds. And if ever you're going to make a mistake in your yoga practice, then underdoing it every time is the mistake to make. Alright, we'll slowly come on out. Take just a moment to pause and feel the wrists. You might feel kind of an achy sensation, like the wrists are kind of stuck in that position, and that's actually a sign of success, that we've gotten in touch with the fascial network in our wrists. Usually a little bit of movement feels good, so we'll lift the fingertips up and down, and repeat a few times. On the next time, as we lower the fingertips, you can bring fingers and thumbs together, and then spread the fingers apart. One more time, lift and lower. Now we'll stretch the undersides of the wrists, so you can plant the palms out in front of you. Similar idea, and if you'd like, hands and knees. If hands and knees is a more comfortable place to practice, then you're welcome to head there. Again, your whole palm doesn't have to be down on the ground. And in fact, if you kind of lift up onto the undersides of the fingers, you can get a really nice stretch all the way through the underside of the palm as well as the underside of the wrist. Looks like my cat Wordy is coming to join us. Hey girl, what are you doing? She's my floofy one. Again, you can fine tune whether your fingers point a little bit away for less intensity or towards one another for a little more intensity. And we'll stay just another 30 seconds. Slowly start to release the stretch. And plant the palms in your lap and take just a moment to feel the sensations in the palms. You might even choose to close your eyes or let eyes rest in one steady gazing point out in front of you. You might notice if those sensations continue up the arms. Blink the eyes open if they were closed. And finish out with just 3 rounds of circular breath with movement with the arms. Inhale to reach the arms up overhead. And exhale, palms face down, moving down in front of your body. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, you might reach out nice and far. Do your full wingspan. And exhale, palms down in front of you. That's our quick 10-minute practice for upper body, neck and shoulder stretching. Thanks so much for joining. And you can find more free videos on YouTube and more offerings from me, building community, and as well as continuing education and yoga teacher training at eastwestretreats.com. Thanks. Bye.